Yeah, so I'm getting a master's in sports management with business specializations foundation. And so that master's degree essentially is a great way for me to get into the sports world, which I've been trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping that I can work for a sports organization. The NFL would be great. Of course, football is what I love, but I really enjoy all the sports. So
Mm.
anything in public relations or business operations would be really awesome, sort of what I'm aspiring to do.
Yeah, could you do soccer?
Yeah, I would do soccer. Soccer, basketball,
Yeah,
hockey, football.
yeah. Because I was thinking, like, I have a long-term plan. Hopefully, inshallah, I have a long-term plan of starting a soccer league out here, maybe in like 10, 15 years. So maybe if you're in the industry, then maybe that could be an avenue.
Yeah, that's awesome. You said you're trying to start a soccer league?
Yeah, it's for the moment, the African leagues are not as big as the European leagues, and that's a long term goal of mine. And obviously, starting out in the industry is big for me, and that's like the end goal.
Cool. Awesome. I love that. It's a great idea.
Yeah, maybe that happens in a decade or so.
Totally. Keep me posted.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Pablo. I'm back with another episode. We are back with NFL 101, and obviously, we have the best guest, basically, the most popular guest on the podcast for you guys. Elle May is back on the podcast, all the way from Colorado. How are you?
Really good. Super pumped to be here. Thanks for having me again. This is fun.
Yeah, this is like it's like for first episode back in like maybe 6 months or like 5 months. It's actually it feels like invigorating to actually speak with someone else, because the last time we were thinking about doing a podcast, we like pushed it and pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, but now we're here to talk about the NFL. Obviously, the season just started. How have you seen the team so far, and do you like the Ravens this year?
Um, it's been exciting so far. I think it was sort of a slow week one for a lot of teams. I mean, obviously, a couple teams came out really hot, really fast. Like the Bills, of course, they come to mind immediately. They played great that opening
Yeah.
week. But it's exciting. I think a lot of teams didn't have their players, their big name players, play at all in the preseason. So I think a lot of teams saw sort of some lagging play at the beginning of the games. But then it
Hmm.
came around. Kind of felt that way about the Ravens. First quarter
Hmm.
was a little bit slow, but then they got going and got rolling pretty good against the Jets. So
Yeah.
that was fun to see. But yeah, exciting week one. Good game last night on Thursday Night Football too with the Chiefs and the Chargers.
AFC. Yeah, with the AFC West is a crazy division, and obviously before week one, just to come back to the off season, can we talk a little bit about Lamar's contract and where everything stands, basically at this point in time?
Yeah, I wish I knew. I wish that we were talking about that huge contract that he signed this offseason. That would have been sweet, but no such luck. I mean, my opinion on the Lamar Jackson situation with his contract is I think they tried pretty hard to work it out this offseason, and it sounded like the Ravens gave him what they thought was a really good deal, and I'm sure it was a really good deal. But at the end of the day, the NFL works in such a way where a guy gets paid and the next guy gets paid more, and the next guy after him gets paid more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that the Ravens are just going to have to eventually come to the terms with that the fact that they're going to have to pay more money than the Browns paid Deshaun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I hope that happens because, in my opinion, like Lamar deserves it based on who he is on and off the field. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know if it gets done this year. I could honestly see them franchise tagging him again, trying to work it out again. But for me, it's like the sooner the better. Got to get it done. But
Do you
I think
think?
Lamar might be done talking about it, so we'll see if it happens.
Yeah. Do you think he goes into 2023 without an extension?
Oof. Um, I hope not. I mean, I don't even love that he's playing this year, but um, we need him, so I'm grateful that he's willing to do it. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think if he doesn't get signed this offseason, we've got bigger problems than we do right now.
yeah, for sure, because the Ravens are predicated on him. Everything revolves around Lamar, and hopefully his long-term future in Baltimore. Rumors that came out last week was 270, 200, 250, 270, $290 million extension over maybe like 6 years, depending on which source you're getting the news from. Do you think $290 million was enough for him?
I mean, I think if it was $290 million fully guaranteed, yeah, that's enough money for him because Um, Deshaun got 230 million, and I think his goal is to just beat Deshaun. So part of me feels like, yeah, they might have offered him $290 million, you know, 6 year contract, but not exceeding Deshaun's guaranteed money, which I think he's probably looking to do. So I
Hmm.
mean, maybe that's true. I'm not sure, but I feel like if they offered him 290 fully guaranteed, like that seems like enough money. But at the end of the day, I don't know.
Yeah, according to I think Chris Mortensen from ESPN and obviously Adam Schefter, I think it was 290 something like 100 and basically we know it was higher than what Murray got, and Murray got 189 million guaranteed. We know it was higher than that. We just don't know what specific amount was guaranteed. Obviously, there's been rumors of 250, 270, 290. I don't think all of it was guaranteed, but ever since the start of the off season, I've been saying we don't see a contract get done between the Ravens and Lamar Jackson this off season. My bet is next off season, in the spring, and like I think it will be done earlier, and it won't be pushed into maybe the summer. But I'm thinking $300 million over 6 or 7 years, 300 and something $million over 6 or 7 years, and over 200 million guaranteed. Is that a bad deal for him, or do you reckon?
No, I think that's a good deal. I mean, for me, in my head, I break it down. I think 6 years, 300 million, 250 million guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
That puts him at $50 million a year,
Mm-hmm.
about, and
Yeah.
that seems that seems like top of the market right there. And 250 million guaranteed is more than Deshaun. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not more annually guaranteed money, but it's overall more guaranteed money. So, yeah, I think something like that, like a 6 year, $300 million contract, is probably right where he'll fall. Especially if he has a good year this year, then he'll be looking for more money than he was asking for this year.
Yeah, most people, like a few people, have him winning the MVP this year, and obviously some people, including, I don't want to say me, but I used to be optimistic that the Ravens would go to the Super Bowl this year, but I'm kind of off the train. But some people are optimistic that he can make it to the Super Bowl this year. Can we just obviously speak about the fact that the Ravens had a good game on 9/11 in New York, and obviously they thrashed the Jets 24-9. What did you think of the game?
Um, yeah, I thought it was a good game. It was a little
Hmm.
underwhelmed at the
Hmm.
beginning. I know that players had to knock off rust and
Yeah.
build the chemistry up again because the big guys like Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman didn't get any time in preseason action, and so
Hmm.
I think they definitely had to get back into the flow of things. But for me, it was unfortunate the first couple drives on offense just it's like I couldn't believe that's what we'd practiced all off season. Like, really, these are the plays that we've been practicing all off season. I think that was pretty frustrating. But then you kind of started to see guys get into a rhythm, and then by the middle of the second quarter, I mean, we were really rolling, and that was fun to see. And Lamar making beautiful touchdown passes to his wide receivers, an opportunity for people to see the playmaking that our wide receivers have. And then the defense was just like really exciting. I'm super excited about the defense. I mean, you
Uh-huh.
start off the first game of the year with a Marcus Williams interception with a beautiful return. It's like that's what we paid him all that money for. So that feels really good. I think I've
Hmm.
been saying all offseason, I think he's going to be huge for us. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun to see the defensive line get at it and the DBs get their hands on the ball. So that was awesome.
Yeah, obviously, I think you were big on the run game and basically how that run game struggled all throughout the game. Obviously, missing J.K. and Gus, and like having players like Justice Hill not stepping up, and obviously we have Kenyan Drake now. He's this. I think the slot in number one running back. Obviously, Mike Davis is in that group as well. What do you think needs to happen for the running game to get back kicking and going?
I think it's going to take stepping up from the offensive line. I mean, they have to win their one-on-ones. For me, it was the Jets D line was dominant for a lot of that game.
Hmm.
They played really well. I think the play action is going to help with that. If we can move the ball through the air, then I think that we'll be able to open up some running lanes. So I think it's just going to take time. Honestly, it might take another week or two to really get the run game down. We've got a couple new pieces on the offensive line. Like you said, we don't have our normal running backs. We just picked up Kenyon Drake a couple weeks ago, and now he's our starting back. So I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. It'll get there, and Lamar will have his opportunity to take off as well. So I think another week or two, and we'll see the Ravens' run game in form. But for now, we're going to need to really light it up in the air in order to get the run game going, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think obviously the Jets were very focused on defending the run, and John Harbaugh also confirmed that, and he said obviously they were intent on stopping the run, and obviously that gave Lamar a chance to obviously show off his big arm. And for me, the standout, like throughout the entire game, obviously the first half was terrible on offense, but on defense it was actually pretty good. And all my eyes were on number 14. How do you think Kyle Hamilton looked on Sunday?
Um, I think that the game looked a little fast for him, but the game was fast. I think the game was fast for everybody at first. So um, he'll get more playing time. I think he'll get used to what his role is in the defense.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm encouraged by him. He didn't make any terrible plays, but I definitely think that there's room for improvement.
Yeah, for sure. I think he also missed some tackles here and there. Granted, it was raining. It was a wet surface, and hopefully we see him actually turn up and like grow as the season goes on. Some people have him as their defensive rookie of the year. Hopefully he has a good enough season to earn that. Can we talk about the Miami game before we jump into prediction week? Obviously, the Miami Dolphins are coming to the bank this weekend. It's a different proposition. It's a different proposition from the Jets. Obviously, another team from the AFC East. Miami had a very good game against New England. Obviously, a division game for them, and obviously they beat New England convincingly. Granted, New England were terrible on offense. What do you think Miami will offer the Ravens basically on offense? Because their offense is lights out with obviously Tua, a bunch of new pieces, Raheem Mostert, Tyreek Hill. Obviously, Jalen Waddle is still in the mix. Cedric Wilson is there now. Um, Basically, they have a bunch of weapons on offense. So what do you think Miami will offer the Ravens?
I feel like everybody you just named is like one of the fastest people in the league. So I'm just laughing over here because you just said like Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Raheem Mozart, like those are like the fastest dudes in the league. So I think that's really what we're gonna have to deal with is just like speed.
Hmm.
Can we match their speed? And then I think the biggest thing is Tua. If Tua's playing a really good game, I think we're going to have a hard day. But if we can rattle him with our defensive line up front and, get our hands on the ball in the back end, make him worry about throwing the ball deep with Marcus Williams back there, who, I mean, I think he's going to get another interception this week. I just think he sees the ball really well. I think he reads the quarterback really well. And I think if our D line gets to Tua, then we're going to have a really good opportunity to rattle that defense. But it's going to take the entire team. I mean, we're going to need Patrick Queen to play really well. He played well last week, and we're going to need him again. So it's just going to take a full team effort. But that Dolphins team is fast. Their offensive line is okay. They're not great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, on the outside, they've got Mike Gesicki, who didn't get involved last week, but he can get involved at any point. So just got to
Mm-hmm.
watch out for their weapons. They've got speed. So I think if we can contain them, contain their speed, and get after Tua, then we Ravens have a really good opportunity to win that game.
Tua was sacked twice, and obviously that New England D line is incredible, with
Mhm.
obviously Matt Judon and everyone, and obviously the Ravens D line. If you look at the tape from last week's game, the Ravens D line has come a long way. Obviously, Michael Pierce is in there. Justin Madubuike obviously is healthy this year. He's in there. Calais got a sack. He was supposed to get two sacks or a sack and a half. I'm not entirely sure, but Calais is in there as well. Obviously, you mentioned Patrick Quinn, and hopefully they get to they get to tour and like you said, rattle him a little bit. But I'm hopeful. Obviously, I'm a little bit devastated, but I'm hopeful that the secondary can actually step up this game this weekend, because I think that will be the bigger test. Obviously, with every single one of the running backs from Miami can catch the ball out of the backfield, and they have really good receivers. Obviously, you also mentioned Mike Gesicki as well. Do you think the Ravens secondary can actually stop this receiving core that they have? Obviously, including Gesicki in the slot, if he's
Um,
healthy.
yeah, I think it's going to be hard. I'm not sure we can stop them. I think we can slow them down. I saw the injury report yesterday. Marcus Peters was a full participant, which is super exciting. It means that he'll probably play this weekend, which would be huge, especially because Kyle Fuller just tore his ACL last week. And then I saw that Brandon Stevens isn't practicing, and Marlon Humphrey was. I wish Lamar could play corner. If Marlon Humphrey was limited in practice, so I mean we're already banged up on the outside. So I mean we're gonna need everybody to play their best, and maybe we need a couple of the young guys to step up, like Pepe Williams and Jalen Armour Davis, a couple of rookie corners. They probably are going to get more action, especially just because Fuller's down. But um, I don't think we can stop them. I mean, I think that they're gonna get what their game plan is, but I do think we'll be able to slow them down. I'm really excited about Marcus Williams. I think he brings a lot to the table. So he and Chuck Clark will have us lined up and ready to go.
Yeah, Habo said Clark was the green dot. Obviously, great to see him actually playing in Baltimore and happy now. Obviously, he handed in that transfer request, that trade request months ago. But can you give me your prediction for this one?
A score prediction?
It doesn't have to be a score prediction, but if you can, it's always nice.
Let's see. Let me think of a good prediction. Um, I think that the Ravens defense gets two turnovers again. I think probably an interception by Marcus Williams and a forced fumble by Marlon Humphrey. Um, so I think
Mm-hmm.
we get two turnovers again on defense, and then I think Mark Andrews gets involved this game. Um,
Yeah.
so I think that. Oh yeah, here comes my dog. His name's Jackson, of course. So
His
um,
name's Jackson. What breed is he?
he's like a German Shepherd Lab crazy man mix, basically. um, I think the Ravens will win this one. The last few times we played the Dolphins, we played in Miami. I think that we win this one. Um, I'll go with 27-17. That's what I think it'll be.
Yeah, two scores.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm not as optimistic as you are. I think the Dolphins are loaded. I'm more scared of the Dolphins than the Patriots at this point in time.
Yeah.
I think the East obviously is tough. I think for me, I think the Dolphins come into the bank and still and like come out with a win. I'm not as optimistic because obviously the secondary is mad, and right now obviously with the Fuller injury, and obviously we're optimistic that 24 actually plays, but I'm not. That obviously remains to be seen, and hopefully with the running and obviously with the running game not as good as it should be, as we're used to it being. it's I'm not entirely sure that will come out with a dub, but hopefully we do. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I'll actually go with a score prediction of 23-20 Miami Dolphins.
All
I think
right.
we go 1-1 this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, can we go to prediction week now? Obviously, this is actually the star part of our episode from last season. Obviously, we had a couple of good picks, and last season you had the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. Do you still have the Ravens winning the Super Bowl this year?
I always pick the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. um, I mean, they're one of my choices, but I think it's hard to not choose the Bills. I mean, you watch the Bills play, and it's just like if they don't win the Super Bowl, uh, they didn't have a good
It's an
year,
L.
in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, it's an L.
Yeah, so I think the Bills are probably my pick. I think they seem pretty unstoppable. They're really good, and I just think if we're taking all the teams and they're just healthy, by the end of the year, I think the Bills are the best team if they're healthy. So I think the Bills, and then I don't know about my pick out of the NFC. It's tough. The NFC is um
Weird.
it's weird. Yeah, it's not as deep as the AFC. I kind of think that the Vikings are my sleeper pick out of the NFC.
Yeah.
So I'll go Bills Vikings. Why not?
It seems everyone's high on the Vikings this year. Like obviously they have a new coaching staff and everything, and they're looking really good. Obviously, it seems like Justin Jefferson is slated for another big year, an even better year. But for me, before last week, I had the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I had them against the Saints. I just think the Bills have like um it's there's something about that franchise. Like they've got to four Super Bowls and they've never won it once, and they just can't get over the hump. I don't think it. I think it's something to do with the organization. Nothing to do with the team. I think the team is incredible. Obviously, they should win the Super Bowl, but I don't think they can do it. Obviously, the Ravens with I think with Fuller, they were actually one of the best teams, and obviously they strengthened at a position. Obviously, the secondary that was terrible last year, but with Fuller gone, I just think that weakens them a lot. Obviously, a starting corner, it could be a nickel for them, but he's not playing for the rest of the year. So I'm going with a boring pick. I have the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
I mean, they played really well last night. I was impressed with their defense too. I thought their defense held up really well against the Chargers last night. So Chiefs might be boring, but that's a solid pick. I mean, with
Yeah, for sure.
Mahomes, it's a safe choice.
Yeah, Yeah, for sure. I think it's just been a while, and obviously they've tried it a couple of times and they fell. And I think this year they're stronger. And obviously with Hill out of the picture, Mahomes has a different, has an array of targets to basically hit. And I think they go out there from the NFC. I have the New Orleans Saints. I think they're a sleeper team as well. Same with the Vikings. Obviously Jamison Winston. I think it Jameis Winston. I think it's basically we have to wait and see how he plays and how healthy he remains for the rest of the year. But I think as a roster, as a team, they're really good.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Saints overall are a great team. I gotta say though, Jameis is where they lose me.
Yeah, everything depends on him. If he stays healthy and if he plays well, maybe. But obviously, that remains to be seen.
Right. Yeah, but I agree. That's a good choice.
Yeah. Offensive rookie of the year. Where are you going?
Um, I like Jahan Dotson with the
Hmm.
Commanders. He had a really good game last week. I think people are kind of sleeping on him because he wasn't one of those first few guys off the board, although he was picked early. He wasn't, the first or second wide receiver taken. So I like Jahan Dotson. He had 2 touchdowns last week. I think with him, Terry McLaurin, and Samuel's there. I think that they've got a good receiving core. So him, and then my other say would be Garrett Wilson. Played pretty well, and I think he'll come along stronger as the season goes on and be somebody that the Jets really rely on.
Yeah. I'm with you on Garrett Wilson. I think that's my pick. I think he's really good. Obviously, there was basically question marks on whether he'd be healthy, and he played really well against the Ravens, and hopefully continues on the up. Obviously, with Zach Wilson coming back, I really think he'll be the player. Obviously, I think it's going to be a wide receiver from this rookie class. I think it can't go anywhere else. I'd love to go Isaiah Likely, but obviously he didn't have a good game against the Jets. But hopefully he steps up. But I think Garrett Wilson is my pick. Defensive rookie of the year. Where are you going?
Um, defensive rookie of the year. I'll go Sauce Gardner.
Wow.
Another Jets pick. I mean, I think he played pretty well. Played pretty well
Yeah.
last week, and if he can get some turnovers, I mean, he's going to have to get a bunch of turnovers in order
Yeah.
to win the award. So him or Dominique Robinson, who plays for the Bears. He's a
Who?
Dominique Robinson plays for the Bears, edge rusher. Had a couple of sacks last week.
Yeah.
So I think if he can be someone who's consistently good for that Bears defense, then he could be a sleeper pick for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure a sleeper pick. Like which round did he go?
That's a good question. I think let me look. I think late.
Dominic Robinson.
See what it says here. He was there's the
Like
fifth round. Fifth
yeah,
round.
I don't even know who is from from the University of Miami.
Miami, Ohio. So that's why you don't know
Miami.
him.
Ohio. Okay. Yeah, fifth round.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a sleeper pick. But it's if you're impressed by him, he's 6'5", 253 pounds. Yeah, he's massive.
How about you? What do you got?
Yeah, I have George Kalaftis from the Chiefs. Obviously,
Nice.
there's been talks of Aiden Hutchinson. Obviously, he's the leader, basically, in the leader from the Lions, from for that Lions defense. But I'm going George Kalaftis. I think obviously the Chiefs defense getting better this year, and I think he's the rookie standout from that team. And I think he basically they call him the Greek somebody, the Greek freak, the Greek god or something. I think he's slated for a big year, and I just think defensive rookie of the year they usually give it to basically the linemen or linebackers, and I think with him playing edge or sometimes outside linebacker, I think he could get a couple of sacks and maybe he could get the award.
Yeah. Awesome. Good choice.
Yeah, offensive player of the year. Well, this is where I think most people have Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. Offensive
For
player of the year. What are you doing?
offensive player of the year, I'll go Justin Jefferson. Um,
Wow, man.
yeah, I think we're gonna have a wide receiver win it. I think Justin Jefferson or Stephon Diggs, one of those two guys. I think a quarterback will win MVP, but I think a wide receiver will get offensive player of the year. So I'll go Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. That's a good shout. I think that's a better shout than mine because I went Josh Allen because I don't think he'll win the MVP, but I went Josh Allen. I think Justin Jefferson is a better pick because obviously he started the season really well, and people are projecting him to have like 1,800, maybe 2,000 receiving yards. I don't know if he can get there,
Mm.
but yeah, that's a very solid pick. But I went Josh Allen. That's a dumb pick. Defensive player of the year.
Um, I think Miles Garrett. Miles
Hmm.
Garrett, defensive player of the year, or Micah Parsons, who already has like 2 or 3 sacks this year. So one of those guys.
Yeah. I like Micah Parsons a lot. Obviously Miles Garrett as well, and with TJ Watt tearing his pec,
Hmm.
obviously, yeah, it will be tough for him to come back healthy and like have a defensive player of the year performance. I think Miles Garrett and obviously Micah Parsons are solid. And for me, I like Von Miller this year. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased because he played really well against the Rams, his former team, and we haven't seen him play this weekend. But I like Von Miller. I think he has a couple sacks already this year.
Mhm.
I think this is the comeback year for him. He looks younger, he looks fitter, he looks better, and hopefully he stays healthy for the rest of the season and has a good year for Bills Mafia.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, comeback player of the year. Where are you going?
Um, I think Saquon Barkley, if he's healthy, I think that he could be just a huge benefit to the New York Giants. So Saquon's my guess.
Yeah. Do you think we usually have like up and down years with Saquon? Like we say like obviously he's going to have a good year and then he has another setback. He's going to have a good year, then he has another setback.
That does seem to happen to him.
Yeah.
Hopefully he makes it through this year healthy.
Yeah. For me, I'm going with the Raven here. I'm going with J.K. Dobbins. I think he's itching to get back healthy. I think he doesn't play this week. I think he plays in week 3, but I'm itching for him to get back. Obviously, I'm excited for him, and if he gets back around the same time as when the Ravens get Ronnie Stanley back, I think they'll both be big for the running game, and I think if JK gets something like 1,000 yards off of an ACL season-ending injury, I think he'll deserve it.
Absolutely. Yeah, if he gets 1,000 yards, the Ravens will be looking really good.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. MVP. I think everyone has Josh Allen. Do you have Josh Allen for MVP?
I do have Josh Allen, which makes me not want to say Josh Allen, but that's who I got.
Yeah, everyone is high on the Bills this year, and rightly so. Rightly so. They're looking really good.
They are looking good. If not, give it to my boy Lamar.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Hopefully, it throws for 3,500 or something yards and like rushes for 1,000.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I think if he does that, he's got a really good chance to win it again.
Yeah, for sure. MVP, I'm going with a silly one. I have Mahomes.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Totally. He
have
tears it
Mahomes.
up. Tears it up every year.
Yeah, I have Mahomes. I think he gets his second MVP this year. Obviously, we might be bigging up Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and then you have Aaron Rodgers winning a third consecutive.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that happens. But this has been the episode. We tried to keep it to 30 minutes. Basically, do you have anything to shout out, L, before we leave?
No, go Ravens always. So that's my shout out. Go Ravens, and thanks for having me on again, Pablo. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's been nice having you on. Obviously, our first episode in like 5 months. Obviously, for you and I, it's like 10 months, but
Yeah.
like for the podcast, it's like five or 6 months. This has been nice. Hopefully, guys actually follow you on Twitter at L Talks Ravens. You changed it.
No, that's it. L Talks Ravens. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And this has been nice, L, and I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully.
Thanks. Appreciate you.